clay they caution, dust to dust they intone. From earth you came, and to earth you will return, they admonish. They remind us we are mortal and subject to death, yet insist on their eternals. Demons and angels, paradise or purgatory, merely human with a finite measure of days. But we have exploded as novas, burned through galaxies, explored far reaches of the Milky Way, ridden on the tails of comets, danced on the edge of asteroids until, in a dizzying frenzy of passion, we fell through the viscous ozone, past cooling clouds to settle in the ooze that feeds the ocean's fluid. It was there that we decided to grow limbs and tongue, all the while holding inside the truth of our origin: magnesium, calcium, iron. We are the stuff that stars are made of. It's a scientific fact, a cosmic truth. In ignorance and in knowing, we hold grains of the divine inside ourselves, and we always have.
I want to basically welcome our next poet. He claims he's not a poet, but I think he has real strong possibilities. His name is Dr. Glenn Parris. And what I'm very proud of is that Glenn will be in that upcoming anthology, Black Panther, Tales of Wakanda, that's coming out in February, and I'm really looking forward to reading it. I'd like you all to give a warm welcome to Glenn.
Thank you, Kim. I feel like a little bit of a misfit in this bunch, not being a poet. I'm more of a novelist, but I do appreciate poetry. I would like to perhaps honor my poetic colleagues with something close to poetry. And it's in the context of my novel, Dragon's Air. And this is an allegory of a long absent apex civilization that comes back to Earth and finds in a remote corner of their backyard a species called man, who, although they think they're the king of the hill, they see them as inconsequential as bugs. No rank, no status, just bugs. And that in mind, let me first share with you a poem called The Seat of Power, which tells a little bit about who they are, and then a love poem about the two main characters who are sort of reminiscent of Romeo and Juliet, but there's not the angst there. There is, however, a sacrifice involved. But let me begin with The Seat of Power. Test. A world fashioned from a gas giant orbits as the seat of power of the Iflu realm. Its poet cap crowned by the forest of feelings, a symbol of two teardrops, eternally chasing round a circle in perfect balance. The mirage swirls twin streams of fire and water, like strands of our very DNA, cast skyward toward the future, yet rooted in our past. The Alom, the river of life and fate. For 3 hours of every 7 years, the contrasting tears come to life as Test eclipses the distant giant red, the blood star. Unleashed by its fiery glow, the Tillage illusion dances for all to see, a spectral dragon in fetal position. The cool green upper arc spread as an oversized wing. The lower arc issues a breath of crimson backwards, rendering a far wing invisible. This world, an elaborate monument to the Iflu hubris, an apparition endowed with a mystique, worshipped as a god. These people are very arrogant. And if we're not careful, we're going to follow in those footsteps. The second poem is called The Hunted's Tribute. And as I said before, this is a love poem. Our two main characters, Vitna and Tur. One is an invincible warrior with unmatched military skill and strategy. The other is a simple archaeologist who is able to sneak up on this invincible warrior who doesn't miss anything. And this is his tribute to her success and her triumph over him. And it's a traditional poem recited by prey who have lost a member of their group to a hunter. The Hunted's Tribute. The white rain, a flawless layer of presage, uninterrupted as far as the eye can see. We Sawari have taken Alom's gift for granted, Vitna of Kemoth, this white rain. But leave it to your super hunters clade to weaponize snow. I must remember, I am the hunted. You, Vitna of Kemoth, tread like a raptor's shadow and stalk like a Melchi's dream across this white rain. I'm disappointed in its failure. Its fragile silence failed to announce your movement, this white rain. Its delicate purity failed to unveil your approach. So terribly close, yet always out of reach. You so skillfully navigate this white rain. Still, Vitna of Kemoth, you come on like a lashing wind, battering hail, and biting storm all at once, leaving only this white rain. The Sawari have become complacent. Thank you for extracting our weakness. When next you hunt Kemethi, you'll face a nemesis, not plain, not prey. We'll be stronger, victorious, and without mercy, leaving you broken and silent in this white rain. So snow is something that we often think of as not being something that dinosaurs ever deal with. Cold-blooded. These weren't cold-blooded, but also it's just this wonderful tribute to this little creature that he would literally die for, rather than see come to harm. The book will be coming out in the spring of 2021 with Outland Entertainment, and I hope everybody enjoys it. It is truly Afrofuturism. It incorporates a lot of very, very subtle African references, as you heard. Kemet is an old name for Egypt. She is Kemethi, or she is from Kemoth. He is Sawari. The Chiwari were great warriors in North Africa that were banished by the gods. There are so many little references in there that I can't go into all of them at once, and of course I wouldn't want to spoil it for you. I think it's worth exploring, I hope.
It's definitely worth exploring. No hope to it, it's just there. And what I appreciate about this is that we have so many different forms of Afrofuturism here today. Thank you, Glenn. Thank you very much. Our next poet is Staajabuz. Now, Staajabuz is out of Sacramento, and she has a wonderful, wonderful history of just working with her daughter, and they're a daughter-mother team in Sacramento. The poetic duel is called Straight Out of Scribes. She's also the author of Caledonia's Daughter. I'd like you all to give a warm welcome. We can do it with our hands to Staajabuz. Hi, Staajabuz.
Hi, Kim. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you for that introduction, and thank you for including me in this esteemed group of writers. Caledonia's Daughters is about 7 hard-headed women in outer space, in the cosmos, who are doing amazing things They are all daughters or some progeny from a sister named Caldonia. The book starts with a poem called Future Women. I'll share that. Future women don't take no mess from nobody. They know the deal. They're for real, saving lives, civilizations, star systems, and planets with their knowledge and skills. When some entity steps to them all ill off the wall and in their face, future women don't hesitate to put them in their place by any means necessary. They fly, they soar, they got big guns galore and know how to use all kinds of technology. Remember Uhuru? The Enterprise couldn't do nothing without her on the boards, and hordes of other future women have saved the day, the hour, with their prowess and power, crouching in midair, changing colors or shape as they leap into space, in and out of wormholes or trees. These bold sisters don't even play and are as serious as can be. Action is their middle name. Setting things right is their claim to fame. Niobe, Princess Layla, Queen Latifah, Trinity, Mystique, Lilu, Storm, Sister Soldier, Rocket, Xena. You can take it as a warning or a prophecy. Future women are on the rise in this galaxy. Look up in the sky. Is that a bird? A plane? It's a future woman. From Caldonia's Daughters. And it ends with a poem called The Corner. Everywhere I've gone, I've lived all over the United States and sometime in Africa, I always found there was a corner in each neighborhood where brothers would gather. Sometimes it'd be a tea shop, but it would be a bunch of brothers standing around sometime in a garage. The corner in the future may be on Saturn or Mars. The brothers, when they hang out, will be checking out stars instead of checking out cars, and they'll be cruising the bars in their finest techno-light gear bought from galaxies far. When sisters jet by, they'll be wearing space shoes by Jimmy to Choose and animated tattoos from their feet to their boobs, some with shaved heads, some with neon hairdos. With a wink, they can make a word light up on their chest. If they like you, it's yes. If they don't, it'll say step. The corner street light will be suspended in space without a trace of wires, hardware, or utility poles, holding a video screen that will constantly scroll, scope the haps, and record all action, including druggies, gamblers, musicians, and business transactions. The corner store will sell credit, blunt snacks, and energy pills that will nourish, cure ills, or pay your monthly transpo or utility bills. The corner in the future will be almost the same. It'll have the same name, and brothers will gather to play whatever game's being played. The popo will fly by on scooters with jetpacks. Their sirens will scream, and brothers will get hat. If they have warrants or are packing some heat, all you'll see is their smoke screens as they zoom down the street. And of course, when the vid screen comes on with the hourly news, you'll know what was what, and you'll know who was who on the corner. Thank you.
But thank you very much, Staajabuz. That was beautiful.
Thank you.
Great.
If I've said anything of value or beauty, all praise is due to the Most High. And I'd like to say one more thing. Free Mumia, free Leonard, hands off Assata.
Yes, yes. Thank you very much. Thank you. Our next author is Eugene Redmond. Eugene Redmond is just a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful author. He has done such incredible work on Henry Dumas, and his, I believe it's Knees of a Natural Man, the selected poetry of Henry Dumas, was reprinted. It came out in October 2020. And I'd like you all to welcome Eugene Redmond.
I've heard everything. I mean, underscore everything, everything. And now the puppets have a new king. Uluwaka Alu. Oh, these cold white hands manipulating. They broke us like limbs from trees and carved Europe up on our African masks and made puppets. Uluwalalu. Bring out the pygmy juju. Let us, like little black spears, bore our way. And that poem, The Puppets Have a New King, by Henry Dumas, interpenetrates with this second poem by Henry Dumas, Root Song. And it's one that Ta-Nehisi Coates chose for Black Panther comic Marvel Books #3. Once when I was tree, flesh came and worshiped at my roots. My ancestors slept in my outstretched limbs and listened to flesh praying and entreating on his knees. Once when I was free, African sun woke me up green at dawn. African wind combed the branches of my hair. African rain washed my limbs. African soil nourished my spirits. African moon watched over me at night. Once when I was tree, flesh came to sacrifice at my foot. Flesh came to preserve my voice. Flesh came honoring my limbs as drums, as canoes, as masks, as cathedrals and temples of the ancestral gods. Now flesh comes with metal teeth, with chopping sticks and fire launchers, and flesh cuts me down and enslaves my limbs to make forts, ships, pews for other gods, stockades, flesh pens, and crosses hung to sacrifice gods. Now flesh laughs at my charred and beaten frame, discarding me in the mud, burning me up in flames. Now flesh listens no more to the voice of the spirits talking through my limbs. Flesh has grown dull as the ears now. Flesh has grown pale and lazy. Flesh has sinned against the fathers. If flesh would listen, I would warn him that the spirits are displeased and are planning what to do with him. But flesh thinks that I am dead, charred, and gone. Flesh thinks that by fire he can kill, thinks that with metal teeth I die, thinks that chaining me in alien temples with new gods carved on my skin, thinks that all the voices linked from root to limb are silenced, thinks that by cutting me down, I will sing and dance no more, but flesh is lazy and clogged with fat. Flesh does not know that he did not give me life, nor can he take it away. That is what the spirits are singing now. It is time that flesh bow down on his knee again, bow down on his knee again. And a final piece, one of mine. This poem appeared in Arkansas Memoirs, published in 2012 by Third World Press. Sea Changes, recalling 1958 to 1960. He's a deep sea diver with a stroke that can't go wrong. Bessie Smith, Empty Bed Blues. Mariners in waiting, we swam Midwestern mid-century scapes between deceptively glossy seas. Ethiopian Coombe Atlantic behind us, and California's restive Pacific ahead. Just cocky recruits sparring with fear and trailing the first middle passengers by several generations. We were released from the hold of grave deep swimming hole, many seas, lush luster lakes, and brown-breasted river towns rife with barges, railroads, and slaughterhouses, chugging, clacking, and belching blues. We stroked far west en route to far east, past oval, horseshoe, and snake-shaped water bodies, cloud-shot mountains, dizzy deserts, a Vegas oasis, beautiful and ominous canyons, grand as oceans of produce, before boot camping on banks of a mythic San Diego Sea, just above the Sea of Cortez, becoming licitly lethal infant trees, bayonet-bearing grunts, and simplified doo-woppers, cooks and snipers, cryptographers and compasses and pathfinders, helicopters and vessels, crews ready to crisscross claustrophobic wide openness. Philippine Sea, Formosan Strait, Sea of Japan, South China Sea, and endless shadows wading through shallow water rice farms. Buoyed by the Golden Dragon domain at the 180th meridian, we undulated in the embrace of a sea-wide hammock, a lovely, deadly, sweet, silently bleeding blue, where I wrote love letters to 6 sibling sisters and mermaids back home in East St. Louis, Toodle-oo.
Thank you, Eugene. That poem was beautiful. I thank you very much for just being here, Eugene. Our next poet is Ayodele Nzinga. Ayodele Nzinga is she's done so much for the community, particularly with her being the founding producing director of the Lower Bottom Players Theater Company in Oakland, California. Her latest books were published by Nomadic Press, Sorrowland Oracle. Thank you. Give a warm welcome to Ayodele.
Sorrowland Oracle is the one that just came out. You can get that on Nomadic Press. You can also pick up The Horse Eaters there. The piece I'm going to read isn't from either of those.
That's all right.
It's called Dark Art. My dark art grazed you. Truth raw stuns like Max on drums, ancient, sacred, primal, dark art. Mesmerize you, slipped in, baptized you, approached, invited me to sight, sing, tap, entertain you. Collecting my shroud, shadows gathering, thunder, trailing, wailing, women, prayers of unborn children, sliding the eagles back into the book, smiling like you like, walked away, bleeding, dark art, bloody footsteps, stale air, last breaths, centuries of trauma, so wet from the ocean, stopping to pour out gin for Ogun, me and the eagles smile. Not like you like, breathing deep, dark hearts where sun shines sublimely refined, refracted, reflected the inside of pure darkness beyond dark, draped in black, 3 eyes, warrior, drum-hearted, fire burning, no more ignited, verbal vampire invited. Assumed you knew. She traveled well, on with dark art, spit spells, weaving existence, ways out the no way. Sopranos sing here, high, like corpses swinging strangely in trees in deeply purple southern breezes, drugged by horses through the north, informing the curse now invoked, dipped in indigo, coffee, sugar, wrapped in cotton, invisible, but you see, I see, so you invited. We accept. Me and the eagles, free. No prisoners, promise, no surrender, no retreat, blocked exits for several lifetimes, syndicated, running on BET. There is no escape. Hold your breath. Listen for them footsteps, syncopated like drums, slaves walking on the bottom of the ocean, dark art, tongue like sword, freed by armies of bones, walking on water, swelling with recruits, rising from graveyards, pregnant with unresolved history, projectiles, jaggedly inventive, inverse conjuring murky magic, deliciously dangerous, perniciously persistent, hard to kill, dying to live. We are here to entertain. Double-sided axis, tilt your world, we on a different axis. Listen closely to access this. Now horns play, the drums never stop. That's the circle, unbroken, beating hearts, walking, waiting, invoking the dead. We are here. Dahomey fire, Zulu spears, protection shields, not a thing to lose. Drowned you in your bluest blue. Drums never stop beating. Bass begins, she sings, but no tapping. Let Xavier come over. Baraka is gone, fingers move in memory, but no tapping. She's singing, but got to go through the back door to save your sorry soul. Dark art, breaking your fragile heart. bending the notion of me, nappy, uncharted jazz, fall into my ocean, swim in it, jump Jim Crow fits, fill jail cells with it, live in fear of it, choking on greedily ingested, appropriated. You tried to eat it, correct it, erase it, mass assimilate it, come to the picnic, cut up the body, take a small piece home, inject it into your ass, lips, and tits. I have come to help you digest your dreams of me. Captured, consumed, uncured, still wild, Monk, Miles, Marvin X, 1,000 galaxies ahead, beyond. Sun Ra murdered the fucking pale, and I have come to bury it. Crossing over broken lines in Alabama, dark roads in Mississippi, sunrises over Georgia, itinerant refugee, landless, razor smooth, few possessions. Insert your confessions here on the altar of my dark art, beating heart, naked on stage, blinded by searchlights. They mostly come at night. Shotgun is under the bed. You can meet God tonight. Better pray it's your God. Mine don't play. There may be no overcoming. Hold your breath. We are here. Wet from the water, still purple, swinging crosses on necks, seeing God in the mirror, resisting existential crucifixion, tracks of bitter tears, smelling of dried blood, sweat from climbing, heavy, rank ass pain, too stubborn to die, broke, raggedy hope, strangling. Hold your breath. Fly, 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 my granny said, grow wings, too many holes in the ground. She cried, she cried, she cried. Can my pain change you? Right there. They drank the tears. The ocean left shimmering bones dancing on dry land. No tapping. Invincible drums beat. This is dark art. Dark hearts beating. She cried, she cried, she cried. The horns stopped. Hex drop, not a damn eye dry. Feed my ocean. This is dark art. Strung on trees, underwater, on dry ground, bones dancing, sharpening machetes. Hold your breath. We are in the desert now. Just the eagles, lions, and apes walking with me. Granny sweeping over dead children, kept in urns too poor for the cemetery. We are all here. Are you here? Another one shot down. Can't eat your guilt. Born hungry, got dreams deferred, looking for justice, feeling like Fela Kuti. Dancers, bones and feathers, eagles, machetes, razors, nothing to lose. We here. Are you here? Something should be burning. Are you praying to my dark heart? You better pray poems never end. Because what then? Thank you.
Thank you. Yeah, we're all raising our hands. Thank you. I just want to say that today is like no other. Poetry coming out of this space is just amazing. Thank you.